The Hurricane men and women's basketball teams said their farewells to the NCAA tournament and March Madness. The Hurricane Hangtime team is here to break down their performance. Let's take a look.
Hi, welcome to the last edition of Hurricane Hangtime for the season. I'm your host, Lauren Markwith, here with basketball analysts Joey Starr and Justin Stevens. The men's basketball team had an early exit in the first round of the NCAA tournament to Michigan State. What do you guys think about this?
Yeah, it was a disappointing loss, but in my opinion, Michigan State was underranked. You really cannot sleep on a Tom Izzo team come March. But for the Canes going forward, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this, they have to be more consistent in the regular season in order to do better come tournament time. This season, they beat Duke, they beat UNC, and then lose to Wake Forest, Syracuse, Virginia Tech. Last season, they beat Duke and Louisville, and then lost to Northeastern and Clemson. That can't happen. They can't only play well for the marquee games and then don't show up for the teams that they really should beat. And we're going to talk about later. We have a really good recruit coming in, Lonnie Walker, number 18 overall out of high school. He's going to be a great shooting guard, great defensive addition to our team. But the Canes, they've had good players in the past, and they have good players right now. But unless they find that consistency, that team cohesion that I think they lack, the bar is going to be set low for them for the next couple of years.
Yes, definitely. And when you look at this Hurricanes team, they are losing many players, but they're going to have Jaquan Newton as a senior. He's really going to need to have that senior leadership role. He's going to need to work with Coach Shell to have all these young guns who are coming in. You got Lonnie Walker, you got Dan Gock, you got Chris Likes, and Bruce Brown even. He's only going to be a sophomore, so it's really going to be a young group that needs that cohesion when you play in the ACC. It's really going to be important. When the ACC is one of the best conferences in the nation, they really need to come together. And honestly, for this team, it's going to transition from a defensive team to an offensive team. Lonnie Walker and Bruce Brown, great scorers. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens next year.
I agree. And the women's basketball team had a disappointing loss at home in the second round of the NCAA tournament. What do you guys think about this loss? Yeah,
it was a tough loss to Quinnipiac, but honestly, Quinnipiac, they were raining threes left and right. They made 15 for the entire game, which is almost unheard of. And I mean, Coach Katie Meyer said after the game, there's really not a lot you can do after that except tip your hat off. She said that the girls were actually playing great defense. Quinnipiac was just making all of their shots, basically. And going forward for the women's team, they're losing their top three scorers, Jessica Thomas, Kiana Hayes, and Adrienne Motley. So it's going to be a completely different team going forward.
Definitely. And if you look at this team, I think one of the biggest keys is going to be Laura Cornelius. She averaged 8 points a game this season. I really feel like she's going to be the driving force for Katie Meyer's team. Katie Myers always has a competitive team, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Back to you guys at the desk.